Tonight's episode of Shadowhunters was all about sexy time, tweaking, and angels. Let's get this episode of What Happened started. Lisa here, and welcome back to my recap show, where today I'm breaking down Season 2, Episode 7 of Shadowhunters, titled How Art Thou Fallen? This time around, I'm gonna just break down some of the big moments by character, so let's just kick it off with our favorite awkward vampire. Simon has been connecting with Maia lately, especially after the last episode, which I'm rooting for, but as we saw in the last episode, she knows that Simon has a thing for Clary. We get a hint of Clary's jealousness when she walks in on Simon, getting ready for a date.
Hey Simon, you here? Hey.
Yeah, she saw that six-pack and was like, should I reevaluate this friendship real quick? Okay, maybe not exactly, but I think that there was definitely a feeling there and some jealous tendencies. I don't know, Clary just needs to make up her mind. Now Simon goes to the bar to meet Maia, and he's there a little too early, so he ends up hanging out with Jace, which is probably my favorite part of the episode and probably not a good idea on Simon's part. In order to distract himself from all his problems with Aldertree, Jace has been off hooking up with random girls and having some fun in the bar, and Simon decides that he's having some trouble in the girl department, so why not enlist Jace as his Obi-Wan, or his wingman, or his mentor? When he tries to play it cool and kind of act like Jace, how he saw when Jace transformed into him, well, doesn't go so well. Maia ends up asking him to a Blade Runner marathon, and she tells him,
"This isn't good." So when the Simon I agreed to go out with just decides to show up, tell him to give me a call, okay?
Wait, no. Maia!
Those moves don't always work, Simon. Just be yourself. Eventually, Simon apologizes to Maia and brings her his special Blade Runner collector's set, which I'm a little jealous of, actually. I think I'd date Simon for that. But they make up, and she tells him that he really needs to tell Clary how he feels. Simon reveals that Luke's told him the same thing, and it seems like the cranks are turning in his head because what's he gonna do? Is he gonna tell her? Will it ever happen? Moving on to Izzy, who's kind of been getting on my nerves lately, but I guess understandably she's going through some withdrawals, right? Well, she's not doing so hot since running out of Yinfen, and she spends the whole episode kind of lying to everyone, saying she's on a special mission from Aldertree to track down this Yinfen drug ring, all these things. She even snaps at Clary, telling her she's not all about this teamwork thing anymore. And the withdrawals are really starting to get it to her when she tells Simon,
You know what's great for anxiety?
Aromatherapy. I read about it online.
Shadowhunter blood.
Excuse me?
One quick bite. Bye-bye anxiety. The look on your face.
I mean, even Simon looked kind of confused. And the last that we see Izzy in the episode, she's kind of tracked down a dealer, and I'm not really sure that that's going to end pretty. We'll have to wait till next episode to see what happens there. Back to the love front, we have Malec. Just in time for Valentine's Day, right? So there's a sweet moment in the episode when Alec gives Magnus this cute little gift from their trip, and it made me even feel warm and fuzzy inside. And Magnus reveals that he's feeling things that he hasn't felt in a very, very long time, if ever, and even Alec is going through new feelings that he's never had. Magnus reveals to Maia that he's so used to having people ask him for things and be mean to him, take him for granted, that he's not used to people being nice and giving him gifts and caring for him. So it's nice to see this softer side of Magnus. Like, I'm really liking this. Later on, Alec goes to Izzy for some help, and he asks her, he basically tells her that he's ready to have sex with Magnus, which for many could seem a little fast. Even Izzy is thrown off a tiny bit, but she basically just tells him not to overthink it in the true Alec fashion. Alec later charges into Magnus's apartment and plants a really steamy kiss on him, and it even throws Magnus off his game. Like, he's like, wait, what? What's happening? And he's the reasonable one telling Alec that things might be moving too fast. He's not sure if they should take this sex step yet, because it's rare how Magnus feels for Alec, and he's worried that rushing into things may hurt their relationship. And well, Alex doesn't seem to be worried at all.
Magnus, you have nothing to worry about. I want this.
Now on to the real meat of the episode. What's up with sneaky sister Cleophas, Valentine, Clary, that whole thing? What does she want with Clary? We learned from Luke that Cleophas has been a very strong supporter of Valentine, and basically when the circle disbanded or whatever the word is, her only real choice was to go to the Iron Sisters, but she was a super loyal follower of Valentine, and it even caused huge rifts in their relationship. While Clary is telling Luke about Cleophas, Cleophas is off with Valentine, telling him about the rune that Clary created and that she's special and she's going to prove it to him. She then injures herself, ends up showing up at Luke's place begging for help. Now, Luke immediately doesn't trust her, but Clary, being Clary and being who she is trying to give her the benefit of the doubt. So after talking with Luke more, Clary starts to come to her senses to realize Cleophas isn't really on their side. Now, what tips her off is that when Cleophas comes into the Jade Wolf, she calls Clary Clarissa, and that tips off Clary because only Valentine calls her that. Going back to earlier in the episode, we see Valentine with a hostage who's screaming, and we don't quite know who this hostage is, but Valentine does tell him to leave her daughter alone, aka leave Clary alone. Now, who this hostage is, we don't find out until Clary manages to get this information out of Cleophas. Now, throughout the episode, Clary's been having these kind of episodes where she's hearing a really loud scream, and it even causes her to crumble kind of to the floor because she doesn't know what it is. It's so loud and it hurts her ears. When she's with Cleophas on their way to find Valentine, she ends up having one of these episodes, hears all the screaming, kind of gets in a fight with Cleophas, and Cleophas ends up saying, "Let me help you." So Clary activates the listening rune so that she can help determine the noises, and Cleophas reveals that these are the screams of a very rare, pure being, aka an angel. Meanwhile, while all this is happening, Luke is off trying to get Jace to help out with all of this, and all he has to do is say Clary is in trouble and Jace is back to his old self.
We gotta go.
Oh, let me guess. Alex sent you? Well, I'm off duty.
It's Clary. She's in trouble.
After Cleophas reveals that these screams are the screams of an angel and that these cries are so full of pain, it helps her come to her senses that Valentine is pure evil, basically. He is holding an angel captive, aka that's the prisoner that we saw earlier. And it's against everything that even Cleophas believes in, and she knows that things have gone too far, and even she's willing to turn her back on Valentine. So Clary, though, is still a little shaky on whether she should trust Cleophas, but Cleophas promises that once they set the angel free, she will turn herself into the clave. But they have to get a move on because time is ticking, because a big storm is brewing. Of course, a big storm in any show means trouble, especially here with Valentine, because he has the soul sword, he has an angel in his possession, and there's a storm which could mean lightning, which would set the soul sword off, which would not be good for our favorite characters, or any characters in the show. Jace and Clary end up freeing the angel while Luke and Valentine are fighting, and the angel shows them this before escaping. So what could that mean? We're gonna have to wait to get our answers, but those are what I think were the biggest moments in this episode. I'm sure there's little tiny clues to other things that have happened throughout, and it looks like that real battle is starting to brew. Things are heating up, and I can't wait. I still have so many questions, like where did Valentine run off to with Cleophas? Will Simon actually ever tell Clary his feelings? I kind of want Maia and Simon to date, so will Maia tell Simon her feelings? Are they kind of in the same situation here? Will Izzy get too far in with her yin-fen addiction? And did Magnus and Alec really do the deed? Also, what do you think the angel's message means? Now, for those of you who read the books, maybe you know what's all going down. I still haven't read the books. Someday I'm going to. I need to, but I just don't have time. So the TV show is all I got for now. But I want you, as always, to leave your thoughts down in the comments or hit me up on socials. Let me know your favorite parts of the episodes, the biggest moments, maybe some moments that I missed. And then be sure to subscribe and check out some more of my videos on the channel here. Subscribe so you don't miss anything. And as always, thanks for hanging out with me. Until next time,